All right, now I want to show a little bit of the west side, which is more or less like 4 months in. Some of the stuff is newer than other stuff, so this is my little interlobium sanctuary with Mexican sunflowers, giving a good shade from the western sun, because the western sun is brutal out here. My newly planted mini bed of, you guessed it, soursops. And I have some pumpkin as well, some jack beans coming up, and some whatchamacallit, I forget what it's called, pigweed, amaranth, canistel, more jack beans, more Mexican sunflower. Banana's gonna pop up sooner rather than later. Sea grape. Here I have tons of biomass because I'm leaving and I want to be able to work this area when I come back, as well as that area. So here it's kind of a good look at my 4 months of progress on this side. And this is all rain fed. The other side I started in February, late February, and I had to use irrigation for a bit until it started raining. But this side is always no irrigation whatsoever except for rain, and we've been blessed with a pretty rainy season this year. So again, I kind of want to go a little bit more in depth and reiterate the importance of the 4 pillars: density, diversity, succession, and stratification. So the outermost row, I've got a tiny little tabudilla seedling right next to a ice cream bean, another sapodilla, a service tree that's going to grow up really nice and tall, aquacarpus, right next to the papayas, right next to a chimoya, right next to another sapodilla, right next to a castor bean. Seminole pumpkins are trying to survive. Pigeon peas are coming up. Another ice cream bean. Jack beans are doing a good job fixing nitrogen, helping to regenerate life in the soil. Moringa right next to it. Mulberries are coming up. I seeded this line pretty thick with mulberries because I mentioned this before, but I'm right next to my neighbors, and mulberries they're easy to prune back, and they're best kept as a bushier plant, so that might work into my favor. More jack beans, more Sterculia fotida. Here, more pigeon peas, moringa, jack bean, another mulberry cutting, taking off, right next to a mango, right next to a mulberry. So this is the reason why you plant super densely, because this mulberry is looking way better than the 2 or 3 that I showed you over there. So maybe this one's the only one that stays, and that area could be used for something else. Golden rain tree, Sterculia fotida, more pigeon pea, another mulberry, more jack beans as well. So I mean, it's not only is it smarter to work this way, having so much diversity, being able to pick and choose, it's also way more fun to be able to just have all this crazy shit growing right next to each other. And you know, it's like a choose your own adventure book. Pick and choose what you want to keep. Another thing I'm super excited about on this side is the jacaranda seeds that I scattered everywhere. I found a couple jacaranda trees that were used as a hedge in a gas station here in Naples, and they were bearing seed pods, and I collected a whole bunch of seed pods, and I just randomly put them everywhere, and it looks like a lot of them are coming up, so I'm super excited about that. Look at, so amidst all the craziness, if you look even deeper, you'll find even more life, you know? All these jacaranda seedlings could be huge trees one day. You know, I'll save a few. I'll use a few as biomass. I'll choose the strongest ones and blah blah blah. More Seminole pumpkin, papayas as well. Castor bean playing an important role in providing instant shade. More mulberries, more Seminole pumpkin, another mango seedling, more pigeon pea, Seminole pumpkin trying to reach for the fence. And all along the fence line I planted Mexican sunflower for not only a privacy block barrier, but also for chop and drop biomass. More pigeon peas. Pigeon peas are super easy to get if you go to the Cuban store or any Hispanic market. Goya has like a big old bag of pigeon peas for like $2. So, you know, it's a no-brainer to just plant pigeon peas everywhere. But I think this area was dedicated to Seminole pumpkins, and then they didn't do so well, so I started, there you go, putting more mulberries in. So yeah, that's this side. Oh, and tons of sun hemp that are starting to go to flower, which are really beautiful. You can see. I guess I'll walk over there later. And then in the in-between rows, there's more of my root rows, tubers and roots, and kind of calorie foods. Sweet potato, this Edo, taro. Seemingly liking this area here. More sweet potato on the ground. Castor, more of the Edo. And this is way smaller than this one. This one's obviously much more vigorous. And again, while you should plant, at least in my opinion, super densely, because you never know the genetics of each plant. So now I have the genetics of this awesome big plant that just, overachieved, and I can replace this little baby if I wanted to. I'll take one of those pups, put it here. I want the best genetics on the property. More Mexican sunflower, more sweet potato, Mexican sunflower, wimpy malangas that I could replace, another wimpy malanga, Mexican sunflower, sweet potato, more Mexican sunflower, some sort of hibiscus that came up on its own, more sweet potato, Mexican sunflower, cassava, Mexican sunflower, more sweet potato, Edo, malanga, more sweet potato, and you kind of get the gist. There's more cassava there, more sweet potato, down this line. Another sort of genetically superior malanga. And on the middle row is the banana, pineapple, mango seedlings, banana, pigeon peas, jack beans, Sterculia flotita, trying to get all my layers of the forest in at the same time. They'll all grow to their respective. Got a little pineapple here hiding right next to a mango seedling, right next to a jack bean, and the reality is I'm gonna cut the jack bean back. These two will thrive again. Banana, Seminole pumpkin with a little baby right there. And that's for my little baby nephew. More Seminole pumpkin, another banana, Sterculia fotida, more pigeon pea, banana. And you know, this is a little repetitive, I'm sure, but I kind of want to, at least in this video, drill the idea that planting super heavily and super densely is kind of awesome. Agroforestry fraxinifolius right next to a mango. And again, this thing is going to grow very tall and very fast, whereas a mango is going to grow fast as well, but not as fast as this probably. And this will occupy its strata above the mango, kind of sheltering it, giving it biomass. More Seminole pumpkin coming down. Let's see. I'm super excited about a plant that I have here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. This is Achita Canna edulis, so it's an edible canna variety. I have two more over here. So great for biomass as well as edibility. And it looks super beautiful so far. So excited about these and excited to keep propagating these and experimenting with them. And sweet potatoes, going wild, loving the sweet potatoes. This is sort of a wild area, kind of kept it, let all the weeds grow, kind of like walking by and seeing all the little pollinators and on all the weeds. So I'm just keeping this a little wild. This row, again, same sort of deal, more of a root row. So I have root and biomass. Mexican sunflower everywhere. Cassava is kind of getting lost in the sauce in here. Sweet potatoes. Seminole pumpkin, kind of engulfing the road, but it's okay. Kind of hard to walk through, but it's fine. More cassava, more sweet potato, more tithonia, got another squash blossom. Let's see if I can step through here. Oh yeah. More sweet potato. So on this side, I really went heavy with the calorie foods: sweet potato, malanga, Seminole pumpkin, because that's a main objective of mine, is to have a lot of calories for my little nephew. Okay, and then this is the tree row. More soursop, another Agroforestry fraxinifolius, more Seminole pumpkin, castor, again, playing a crucial role. Jack beans, also playing a crucial role. Avocado, castor, and underneath the castor, soursop, another Agroforestry, some sort of, I'm not sure what tree it is, another service tree right next to some papayas, which don't look that great. So, you know, it's all about picking and choosing, selecting the plants that are doing well, and getting rid of plants that aren't doing well and using them to feed the system. I have a citrus here, tangerine tree is what that is. More jack beans, helping to fix nitrogen in the soil, and the ground layer down here as well, because there's some gnarly grasses in here that are starting to take over, but it's okay. More castor, always chopping and dropping the castor. More jack beans, another citrus here. This is another tangerine. more castor, and papaya, more papaya that are doing decent. More castor, jack beans. So between this video and the last video, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but it's the truth, you know? If you plant in abundance, you're gonna have abundance. If you plant with a scarcity mindset, you know, just planting one thing at a time and trying to baby that one thing, then you're losing so much potential for all the other things that you can plant in the meantime while you wait for said thing to grow. More mangoes, another Agroforestry, more Mexican sunflower. Then get on the other side. Coconut, more mangoes. And I've got little baby Grevillea robustas, which are service trees as well. Hopefully they'll grow up, I'm not sure. More of the, and it's like, okay, so if they don't grow to do the function that I planted them for, well, at least I have like 7 jacarandas here that will. Mulberry. Another soursop. Moringa. Mango. Mulberry. You know, even something as close as this mulberry and this mango. The mulberry you can keep pruned down to a more bushy tree. The mango you keep it pruned up higher so that they can both coexist, even though they're literally a few inches away from each other. More mulberries. There's another mulberry. All the jacarandas are coming up. So where were we? Coconuts. And here's more of a, at this point of the food forest, I kind of stopped planting food crops and kind of just went strictly service crops. So you see a lot of castor beans, albizia trees, another albizia tree, banana, I guess is a food crop. Well, I guess there are still food crops here. Sweet potato, banana, moringa, pigeon peas everywhere again, sun hemp. Here's the sun hemp in flower. It's pretty cool looking. Got more prickly pear cactus, more castor, more soursops. Another sort of hibiscus that's coming up, more soursop. Hong Kong orchid as a service tree. Choquette avocado and coconut. And that's enough. Just really trying to show an example of what the possibilities are on a small patch of land. You don't need a whole bunch of space. But if you're willing to come out here on a regular basis, pick and choose, see what plants you want to keep, see what plants you want to use as other plant food, chop and drop, then you could do a lot with a little bit of space. And yeah, that's about it. Excuse my rambling and my repetition, saying things over and over again, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool that you can have so much life and diversity and plants helping each other out all at the same time while you're getting food from the system. And all the while you're creating an ecosystem, habitat. There was nothing but grass here a few months ago. It's a cool feeling to steward the land and direct it to a place of abundance while at the same time eating. A lot of people like to separate humanity and nature as if they're two different things. We have farmers on that side of the field, and then we have the nature reserve on the other side of it. When that's bogus thinking, we can produce food for the community and have an abundant natural ecosystem at the same time. So why not do that?